The alien abduction. The vast expanse of space stretched endlessly before the Zarkonian warship, its sleek, obsidian hull gleaming under the light of distant stars. General Vextor stood on the bridge, his four eyes narrowed as he surveyed the small blue planet on the main view screen. Earth, as the natives called it, was to be their next conquest, or so he thought. Status report. Vextor barked, his gravelly voice echoing through the command center. Lieutenant Krila, a slender Zarkonian with iridescent scales, responded promptly. All systems operational, General. Stealth field engaged. The humans remain unaware of our presence. Vextor nodded, a sinister smile playing across his reptilian features. Excellent. Prepare the abduction pods. I want specimens from various regions. We'll see how these humans fare in our arena. As the Zarkonian ship descended into Earth's atmosphere under the cover of night, unsuspecting humans went about their lives, blissfully unaware of the danger lurking above. In New York City, Dr. Samantha Chen, a brilliant neuroscientist, was working late in her lab. Her dedication to unlocking the mysteries of the human brain had earned her numerous accolades. But tonight, her focus was on a particularly puzzling set of data. Thousands of miles away, in a small village in Kenya, Chibari Okello, a skilled tracker and conservationist, was preparing for an early morning expedition. His intimate knowledge of the land and its wildlife had saved countless animals from poachers. Meanwhile, in Moscow, former Spetsnaz operative Nikolai Volkov was enjoying a rare moment of peace in his modest apartment. Years of military service had honed his body and mind into lethal weapons, but he now sought a quieter life. In Rio de Janeiro, Carmen Santos, a rising star in capoeira, practiced her fluid movements on the beach as the sun set. Her agility and quick thinking had made her a formidable opponent both in and out of the rota. These four individuals, spread across the globe, had no idea that their lives were about to intersect in the most extraordinary way. As night fell, the Zarkonian abduction pods descended silently. In New York, a bewildered Samantha found herself engulfed in a strange, shimmering field before losing consciousness. Jabari, stepping out of his hut, barely had time to shout a warning before he too was taken. Nikolai's combat instincts kicked in at the first sign of danger, but even his lightning-fast reflexes weren't enough to evade the alien technology. Carmen, in mid-leap during her practice, was plucked from the air as if by an invisible hand. Hours later, the four humans awoke in a stark metallic cell aboard the Zarkonian warship. Disoriented and frightened, they eyed each other warily. Samantha was the first to break the silence. What happened? Where are we? Nikolai, his body tense and ready for action, scanned the cell for any weaknesses. We've been abducted. Aliens, by the look of it. Jabari, his calm demeanor a stark contrast to the situation, nodded in agreement. I saw a craft, unlike anything I've ever encountered. We must be on their ship. Carmen, still in her training clothes, stretched her limbs, testing for injuries. But why us? Why take people from all over the world? Before anyone could hypothesize, a section of the wall slid open, revealing a corridor lined with shimmering force fields. Two Zarkonian guards, their scaled bodies covered in sleek armor, entered the cell. "You will come with us," one of them hissed in surprisingly good English. "The general wants to see you." The humans exchanged glances, a mix of fear and determination in their eyes. With no other choice, they allowed themselves to be led through the winding corridors of the alien ship. The bridge of the Zarkonian warship was a marvel of advanced technology. Holographic displays flickered with incomprehensible data, and through the massive viewport, Earth could be seen, growing smaller as they ascended into space. General Vextor turned to face the human captives, his imposing figure radiating authority and menace. "Welcome aboard the Crimson Claw," he said, his voice dripping with false hospitality. "You have been chosen to participate in the greatest spectacle in the galaxy." Samantha stepped forward, her scientific curiosity momentarily overriding her fear. "Who are you?" What do you want with us? Vextor's multiple eyes blinked in amusement. I am General Vextor of the Zarkonian Empire. As for what we want, he gestured to a large holographic display showing a massive arena filled with cheering alien spectators. You will fight for our entertainment. Your species is unknown to us, and we are eager to see how you fare against the greatest warriors in the universe. Nikolai's eyes narrowed. And if we refuse? The general's laugh was cold and mirthless. Refuse? Oh, my dear primitive, you misunderstand. This is not a request. You will fight, or you will die. It's that simple. Carmen, her fists clenched at her sides, spoke up. You underestimate us. Humans aren't just going to roll over and die for your amusement. Vextor regarded her with interest. Spirit. Good. You'll need that in the arena. But make no mistake, you are nothing compared to the beasts and warriors you'll face. Jabari, who had been quietly observing, finally spoke. You say we're unknown to you, yet you speak our language. How is that possible? The general tapped a small device on his temple. Universal translator. We may not know your combat capabilities, but we study your transmissions. Your languages are simplistic. As the humans digested this information, Vextor continued. You'll be given basic training and equipment. I suggest you make the most of it. Your first battle will be in 3 solar cycles. With a wave of his hand, Vextor dismissed them. As the guards led them back to their cell, the 4 humans exchanged determined looks. They were strangers from different parts of the world, but now they were Earth's unwitting champions. Back in the cell, the gravity of their situation began to sink in. Samantha paced nervously, her analytical mind racing. We need to pool our knowledge and skills. If we're going to survive this, we need to work together. Nikolai nodded, his military training kicking in. Agreed. We each have unique abilities. We need to strategize, learn about our opponents, and find weaknesses in their security. Carmen, going through a series of stretches to calm herself, added, we should also try to gather allies if possible. Surely we're not the only species they've kidnapped for this spectacle. Jabari, who had been examining the cell's construction, turned to the group. And we must learn about this ship, its systems. Every piece of information could be crucial for our survival and eventual escape. As they began to share their backgrounds and skills, a sense of cautious hope filled the cell. They were facing impossible odds, but the human spirit was not so easily broken. Little did General Vextor know, but in his arrogance, he had made a grave mistake. He had united 4 exceptional humans, each with their own unique strengths, and together, they were about to show the galaxy why humanity was a force to be reckoned with. As the Crimson Claw cruised through the star-studded vacuum of space, Earth now just a fading blue dot in the distance, the 4 humans began to prepare for the greatest fight of their lives. A fight not just for their own survival, but for the pride and future of their entire species. The unexpected alliance. The harsh artificial lighting of the Zarkonian ship's training area cast long shadows as Samantha, Nikolai, Carmen, and Jabari were herded into the vast chamber. 3 solar cycles had passed since their abduction, and the countdown to their first battle loomed ominously. Welcome to your preparation arena, a gravelly voice announced. The humans turned to see a bulky, scarred alien approaching. His skin was a patchwork of scales and cybernetic enhancements, and his left eye glowed with an eerie red light. I am Grokthar, your trainer, he continued, circling the group with a predatory gait. My job is to ensure you provide at least some entertainment before your inevitable demise. Nikolai stepped forward, his stance defiant. We have no intention of dying for anyone's entertainment. Grokthar's laugh was like grinding metal. Spirit. Good. You'll need it. Now, let's see what you're made of. Over the next few hours, Grokthar put the humans through a series of grueling physical tests. To his surprise and carefully hidden admiration, each of them showed remarkable abilities. Samantha's quick thinking and problem-solving skills allowed her to navigate complex obstacle courses with ease. Nicolay's combat training was evident in every move he made, his body a well-honed weapon. Carmen's agility and acrobatic skills left even Grokthar impressed, while Jabari's keen senses and adaptability saw him excel in simulated alien environments. As they took a brief respite, Grokthar approached them, his cybernetic eye whirring as it focused. "Impressive, for primitives," he grunted. "But the arena is unlike anything you faced. You'll need more than physical skills to survive." Samantha, wiping sweat from her brow, looked up at the trainer. "What can you tell us about our opponents?" Grokthar seemed to consider for a moment before responding. "You'll face creatures from across the galaxy. Some are mindless beasts, others skilled warriors. But it's not just about fighting. The crowd, the environment, everything is a potential threat." As he spoke, Jabari noticed something in Grokthar's tone, a hint of reluctance, resentment. He decided to probe further. "You don't seem entirely enthusiastic about this spectacle." The trainer's organic eye narrowed, but before he could respond, alarms blared throughout the training area. Red lights flashed, and a computerized voice echoed. "Alert! Containment breach in Sector 7. All personnel to battle stations." Grokthar cursed in an alien language. "Back to your cell," he barked at the humans. Now, as they were rushed through the corridors, chaos erupted around them. Zarkonian soldiers ran past, weapons at the ready. In the confusion, Carmen noticed a small side passage, partially hidden behind a malfunctioning force field. "There," she whispered urgently to the others. In a split-second decision, the four humans ducked into the passage, their hearts pounding as they ventured into the unknown depths of the ship. The narrow corridor led them to a dimly lit maintenance area. As they caught their breath, trying to plan their next move, a soft whirring sound caught their attention. From the shadows emerged a creature unlike anything they had ever seen. It was small, about the size of a large dog, with a body that seemed to be a blend of organic and mechanical parts. Its multiple eyes blinked curiously at the humans, and a series of tentacle-like appendages waved gently in the air. Nicolay tensed, ready for a fight, but Samantha held up a hand. "Wait," she said softly. "I don't think it means us harm." The creature chirped, a sound somewhere between a bird's song and electronic feedback. To everyone's amazement, it began to change shape, its body reconfiguring until it resembled a crude, miniature version of a human. "It's a mimic," Jabari breathed, his eyes wide with wonder. "Some kind of adaptive alien technology." The mimic chirped again, and suddenly, words in broken English emanated from it. "Friends. Help. Escape." Carmen knelt down, her voice gentle. "Yes, we're friends. We want to escape. Can you help us?" The creature's form shimmered, and a holographic display appeared above it, showing a schematic of the ship. A pulsing light indicated their location, and a path lit up, leading to what appeared to be an escape pod bay. Nicolay studied the map intently. "This could be our way out. But why would you help us?" The mimic's form changed again, this time displaying scenes of various alien creatures in cages, being forced to fight. The message was clear. It too was a prisoner, a victim of the Zarkonians' cruel entertainment. Samantha looked at her companions, a spark of hope in her eyes. "I think we've just found our unexpected ally." As if in response to her words, alarms blared again. The mimic quickly changed back to its original form, urgently gesturing for them to follow. "We don't have much choice," Jabari said. "It's either trust our new friend or face whatever broke containment." With nods of agreement, the humans followed the mimic deeper into the bowels of the ship. As they navigated through maintenance shafts and forgotten corridors, they could hear the sounds of battle echoing through the ship. What exactly escaped? Carmen wondered aloud as they paused at an intersection. The mimic chirped, its form shifting to display a terrifying creature, massive, with razor-sharp claws and rows of gleaming teeth. The humans felt a chill run down their spines as they realized This must be the beast they had heard whispers about from other prisoners. Looks like the Zarkonians bit off more than they could chew, Nikolai muttered grimly. As they continued their journey, guided by their alien companion, the humans began to piece together more about their situation. The mimic, which they had started calling Flux, communicated through a combination of shapes, holograms, and broken speech. They learned that the Zarkonians had been abducting species from across the galaxy for their arena for centuries. Flux was a product of their experiments, an attempt to create the ultimate adaptive fighter, but it had developed beyond their control, gaining sentience and a desire for freedom. Their path eventually led them to a vast chamber filled with rows of stasis pods. Inside each pod was a different alien creature, some humanoid, others defying description. More prisoners, Samantha realized, her voice a mix of horror and determination. We can't just leave them. Flux chirped in agreement, its tentacles working on a nearby control panel. Suddenly, the pods began to open, and disoriented aliens of all shapes and sizes stumbled out. Nikolai took charge, his military training kicking in. "Listen up," he shouted, as Flux translated his words into various alien languages. "We have a chance to escape, but we need to work together. Anyone who wants freedom, follow us." A chorus of alien voices raised in agreement. Within minutes, Nikolai, Samantha, Carmen, and Jabari found themselves leading a ragtag army of escaped prisoners through the ship. As they neared the escape pod bay, they encountered resistance. Zarkonian guards, their attention divided between the escaped beast and the prisoner revolt, put up a fierce fight. But the humans, working in perfect sync with each other and their new alien allies, proved to be formidable opponents. Samantha's quick thinking led to clever improvisations with ship technology. Nikolai's combat skills were multiplied in effectiveness as he quickly taught basic maneuvers to their alien comrades. Carmen's acrobatics allowed her to outmaneuver the Zarkonians' energy weapons, while Jabari's keen senses kept them one step ahead of enemy movements. Flux was a whirlwind of adaptive energy, changing form to meet each new challenge. In one moment, it was a shield protecting a group of escapees. In the next, it had transformed into a weapon, disabling Zarkonian systems with its ability to interface with their technology. As they fought their way closer to freedom, a bone-chilling roar echoed through the ship. The beast was on the move, and it was heading their way. Samantha turned to Flux, an idea forming. "Can you communicate with it? Maybe we can use it as a distraction." Flux chirped uncertainly, but began to emit a series of complex sounds and electromagnetic pulses. For a tense moment, nothing happened. Then, the ship shuddered as the beast changed direction, charging towards the main bridge and General Vextor. With the Zarkonians now fully occupied, the escaping prisoners made their final push to the pod bay. As they piled into the escape vessels, Jabari made a startling discovery. "These pods," he called out, "they're not just for escape. They're seed ships designed to start colonies." Samantha's eyes lit up with understanding. The Zarkonians weren't just collecting fighters. They were collecting species to populate new worlds under their control. As the last of the prisoners boarded the pods, the 4 humans and Flux found themselves in the final vessel. Through the view screen, they could see the Zarkonian ship in chaos, battles raging on every deck. With a final look at the ship that had been their prison, Nikolai engaged the launch sequence. The pod shot out into space, followed by dozens of others, each carrying a diverse group of former gladiators to freedom. As the crimson claw shrank in the distance, Carmen voiced the question on everyone's mind. "So, where do we go now?" Jabari smiled, pointing to the pod's navigation system. "We'd have the coordinates of every world the Zarkonians have visited, including Earth." Samantha nodded, a determined glint in her eye. "Then we go home. And we prepare, because something tells me this isn't the last we've seen of the Zarkonians." As their pod hurtled through space, the unlikely team of humans and their alien ally, Flux, began to plan. They had not only survived but had sparked a rebellion that could change the face of the galaxy. The Zarkonians had sought to exploit the diversity of the universe for their entertainment. Instead, they had inadvertently created a force of united species, led by the indomitable spirit of humanity, that would challenge their empire's very foundations. As Earth grew larger in their view screen, Nikolai summed up what they were all feeling. Humanity isn't just going to survive in this galaxy. We're going to thrive, and we're bringing our new friends with us. The adventure was far from over. In fact, it had only just begun. The grand spectacle. The escape pod hurtled through Earth's atmosphere, its heat shields glowing red-hot as it descended. Inside, Samantha, Nikolai, Carmen, Jabari, and their alien companion Flux braced for impact. The pod crashed into a remote forest, the sound of twisting metal and splintering trees echoing through the air. As the dust settled, the hatch opened with a hiss. The four humans stumbled out, breathing in the familiar air of their home planet. Flux emerged last, its form shimmering as it adapted to Earth's environment. "We made it," Carmen breathed, her eyes wide with disbelief and joy. Nikolai, ever vigilant, scanned their surroundings. "We're not out of the woods yet, literally and figuratively. We need to contact the authorities, warn them about the Zarkonians." Samantha nodded in agreement. "But we need to be careful. How do we explain all of this without sounding crazy?" Jabari, who had been examining the pod's communication systems, called out, "We might not have to explain anything. Look." He pointed to the sky, where multiple streaks of light were visible, more escape pods entering the atmosphere. News would spread fast. The world was about to change forever. Over the next few weeks, Earth was thrown into chaos as it grappled with the reality of alien life. The arrival of diverse alien species, all bearing tales of Zarkonian cruelty, forced humanity to quickly adapt to a new cosmic perspective. Samantha, Nikolai, Carmen, and Jabari found themselves at the center of a global initiative to prepare for potential Zarkonian retaliation. Their unique experiences made them invaluable assets in Earth's fledgling interstellar defense program. 6 months after their return to Earth, as humanity worked feverishly to adapt alien technology for its defense, the worst-case scenario became reality. The sky darkened as a massive Zarkonian fleet entered Earth's orbit. The invasion had begun. General Vexter's face appeared on screens worldwide. His multiple eyes narrowed in anger. "Humans of Earth," he snarled, "you have stolen our property and disrupted our grand spectacle. But fear not. We shall simply move the arena to your world. Prepare yourselves for the greatest show in the galaxy." As Zarkonian ships descended, deploying massive, shimmering force fields to create impromptu arenas in major cities across the globe, Earth's defenders rushed to meet the threat. In New York, Samantha found herself coordinating a mixed team of human scientists and alien refugees, working desperately to counter Zarkonian technology. Her expertise in neuroscience, combined with the advanced knowledge of their alien allies, led to breakthroughs in neural-linked defense systems. "If we can't match their firepower," she explained to military leaders, "we'll outsmart them. These neural links will allow our fighters to react at superhuman speeds." Meanwhile, in the Amazon rainforest, Jabari led a guerrilla resistance movement. His understanding of the terrain, combined with the adaptive abilities of alien flora they had rescued, turned the dense jungle into a living weapon against the invaders. "The Earth itself rejects them," Jabari told his diverse team of human and alien fighters. "We are its immune system, and we will drive out this infection." In Moscow, Nikolai found himself in command of a global special forces unit, comprised of the best warriors Earth and their alien allies had to offer. His experience in the Zarkonian arena proved invaluable as he trained the team to face threats beyond human imagination. "We're not just fighting for Earth," he barked at his troops during a particularly grueling training session. "We're fighting for every species that has suffered under Zarkonian oppression. We are the champions of the oppressed." Carmen, utilizing her agility and quick thinking, became a key player in a daring plan to infiltrate the Zarkonian command ships. Working alongside Flux, whose adaptive abilities made it the perfect infiltrator, she led a team of acrobats and shapeshifters in audacious raids on the alien vessels. "They think they can turn our world into their playground," Carmen said as she prepared for another mission. "Let's show them that humans don't play by their rules." As battles raged across the globe, the true spectacle unfolded, not one of mindless violence as the Zarkonians had intended, but a testament to the indomitable spirit of humanity and the power of unity in diversity. In the ruins of Rio de Janeiro, now encased in a massive Zarkonian arena force field, a pivotal battle took place. Nicolay's special forces, linked by Samantha's neural network, faced off against a horde of bioengineered Zarkonian gladiators. The humans moved with impossible speed and coordination, their minds working in perfect sync. As energy weapons flashed and alien war beasts roared, Carmen's infiltration team struck at the arena's power source. Flux, shape-shifting rapidly, confused and disabled Zarkonian security systems, allowing Carmen to plant explosive charges at critical junctions. From his command ship, General Vextor watched in growing fury as his carefully orchestrated spectacle began to unravel. "Impossible," he raged. "These primitives were meant to be our entertainment, not our downfall." But the general had underestimated not just humanity's resilience, but their ability to unite and inspire others. Across the globe, in every arena the Zarkonians had created, the story was the same. Humans fought alongside their new alien allies, each species contributing unique abilities to the struggle. In the skies above New York, pilots neurally linked to their crafts danced between Zarkonian fighters, their reflexes heightened to superhuman levels. On the ground, Jabari's guerrilla tactics had been adapted for urban warfare, turning the city itself into a trap for the invaders. As the battle reached its crescendo, Samantha made a startling discovery. Analyzing Zarkonian communication frequencies, she realized their neural technology could be reversed. "We can broadcast a signal," she explained to the United Earth Defense Council, "not to control them, but to show them the truth, the beauty of cooperation, the strength found in our diversity." The plan was risky, requiring Carmen's team to infiltrate the Zarkonian flagship and plant a transmitter at the heart of their communication network. It was a suicide mission, but one that could end the war in a single stroke. As Nicolay's forces provided a distraction, launching an all-out assault on the flagship's defenses, Carmen, Flux, and a small team of elite operatives leapt aboard. They fought their way through the labyrinthine corridors, Flux's ability to interface with Zarkonian tech proving invaluable. Finally, they'd reached the central communication hub. As Carmen worked to install the transmitter, they were confronted by General Vextor himself, backed by his elite guard. "You've put on quite a show," Vextor sneered, his weapon trained on Carmen. "But this is where it ends." Carmen smiled, her hand hovering over the transmitter's activation switch. "You're right, General. The show is over, but not in the way you think." She slammed her hand down on the switch. Instantly, the transmitter flared to life, broadcasting Samantha's carefully crafted signal throughout the Zarkonian fleet and to every arena on Earth. The effect was immediate and profound. Zarkonian soldiers dropped their weapons, their multiple eyes wide with shock as they were bombarded with images and emotions they had never experienced. The joy of cooperation, the strength found in embracing differences, the power of unity. General Vextor staggered, his mind reeling from the onslaught of new perspectives. What is this sorcery?" he gasped. Flux, its form stabilizing into a mirror image of Vextor, spoke in the general's own voice. "It's not sorcery, General. It's humanity. It's life in all its beautiful diversity. It's everything you've been missing in your obsession with dominance and spectacle." As the signal spread, the tide of battle turned dramatically. Zarkonian forces, their worldview shattered, began to lay down their arms. The arenas that had been meant to showcase human weakness instead became symbols of unprecedented cooperation as former enemies worked together to shut down the force field generators. In the days that followed, as the Zarkonian fleet retreated from Earth, the true magnitude of humanity's victory became clear. They had not just defended their planet, they had fundamentally changed the course of galactic history. The Zarkonian Empire, once built on conquest and cruel entertainment, began a painful but necessary process of reform. Many of the alien species that had fought alongside humanity chose to make Earth their new home, ushering in an era of unprecedented cultural and technological exchange. As for Samantha, Nikolai, Carmen, and Jabari, they found themselves hailed as heroes not just of Earth, but of a new interstellar alliance. Their unique experiences and abilities made them natural leaders in this brave new world. Samantha's work on neural technology paved the way for peaceful communication between vastly different species. Nikolai's strategic mind proved invaluable in forming the first interstellar defense pact. Carmen's daring and adaptability made her the face of human diplomatic efforts, bridging gaps between cultures light years apart. Jabari's respect for nature and ability to adapt alien flora became the foundation for terraforming efforts on distant worlds. And Flux, the unlikely ally that had started it all, became a symbol of the transformative power of understanding and cooperation. As Earth took its first steps into a larger galactic community, the species of the universe watched in awe and anticipation. The humans, once considered primitive entertainment, had proven themselves to be something far greater, a force for change, a beacon of hope, and the architects of a new era of interstellar cooperation. The grand spectacle the Zarkonians had planned had indeed come to pass, but its nature had been transformed. It was no longer a display of cruel dominance, but a shining example of the incredible things that could be achieved when diverse beings united for a common cause. As news of Earth's victory spread across the galaxy, a new phrase began to circulate among the stars, spoken with a mixture of respect, awe, and just a little bit of fear. Humanity. F******, yeah. Carmen's voice echoed across the stars, rallying allied forces with words that bridged the gaps between species and cultures. And Jabari, drawing upon the ancient knowledge he had discovered, worked frantically to decipher the true nature of their adversary. As the battle reached its crescendo, a startling realization dawned. The Armada wasn't seeking to destroy them. It was testing them. Every strategy, every sacrifice, every moment of cooperation between species was being observed and evaluated. In a desperate gambit, Samantha used Earth's neural network to broadcast a message, not of defiance or surrender, but of unity and hope. She showed the Armada the journey that had brought them to this point, the struggles, the triumphs, the bonds forged between beings from all corners of the galaxy. For a heart-stopping moment, all fell silent. The weapons' fire ceased, the battles paused, and every eye turned towards the massive flagship at the center of the alien Armada. Then, in a display that defied comprehension, the flagship began to change. It shifted and flowed, its form becoming a mirror of the Allied fleet, a representation of every species that had joined the rebellion. A voice, at once alien and familiar, echoed in the minds of every being in the galaxy. You have been judged and found worthy. The true nature of the threat was revealed. This was no invading force, but a galactic test, one that countless civilizations had faced and failed over millions of years. By uniting in the face of adversity, by choosing cooperation over conquest, humanity and its allies had proven themselves ready to join a larger cosmic community. As the realization of what they had achieved washed over them, tears of joy and disbelief flowed freely. Species that had been mortal enemies now embraced as brothers. The Zarkonians, what remained of their empire, laid down their arms and asked for forgiveness and inclusion in this new galactic order. In the years that followed, Earth and its allies entered a golden age of exploration and discovery. The knowledge and technology shared by the ancient armada opened up new frontiers of science and understanding. Samantha's neural link technology evolved into a galactic communication network, allowing instant connection between even the most distant stars. Nikolai's strategic brilliance found a new purpose in coordinating peaceful exploration of uncharted regions of space. Carmen's diplomatic skills were put to the test as humanity took its place in a vast cosmic forum of elder races, and Jabari's insatiable curiosity led him to unlock secrets of the universe that reshaped their understanding of reality itself. Flux, now a being of almost godlike complexity, chose to spread its consciousness throughout the galaxy, becoming a living embodiment of the connections between all sentient life. As for the four humans who had started it all, they often found themselves looking up at the night sky, marveling at how far they had come. From prisoners in an alien arena to leaders of a galactic revolution, their journey had been nothing short of miraculous. "You know," Samantha said one night, as they gathered under the stars at Jabari's nature preserve in Kenya, "when we were first abducted, I thought it was the end of everything. I never imagined it would be just the beginning." Nikolai chuckled, a sound that had become more frequent in recent years. Who would have thought that humanity's great escape would lead to the liberation of an entire galaxy? Carmen, her eyes twinkling with the light of distant stars, many of which she had now visited, smiled warmly. "We may have started as reluctant gladiators, but we became something so much more. We became the spark that ignited a cosmic revolution." Jabari, always the philosopher of the group, added thoughtfully, "And in saving ourselves, we found our true place in the universe, not as conquerors, not as victims, but as unifiers." As they sat there, surrounded by the sounds of Earth's night and bathed in starlight, a shimmering form appeared before them. Flux, in a rare physical manifestation, joined their gathering. "Friends," it communicated, its thoughts filled with warmth and gratitude. "The galaxy sings with the story of Earth, of humanity, of the indomitable spirit that turned captives into liberators, enemies into allies, and a prison into a gateway to the stars." The five of them, four humans and one unclassifiable being, gazed up at the cosmos, now filled with possibility and wonder. They had faced the ultimate challenge, had stared into the abyss of cosmic indifference, and had emerged victorious not through force of arms, but through the strength of unity and the power of diversity. As new challenges and adventures beckoned from the infinite expanse of space, one thing was certain: humanity had not only survived its trial by fire, it had thrived. In the great cosmic story, Earth had written a chapter that would be remembered for eons to come. The great escape was complete, but the journey had only just begun.